Hello students, welcome to another online session. Today we are discussing about vector spaces. So our objective is to revise what we have studied so far, and we will define what is a vector space, what's a subspace, and as an example we can see what is a R space and its subspaces, and R2 space, R3 space, similarly Rn space, and also we will define what you mean by column space of a vector A and a null space of a vector A. So moving to the revision, we have so far seen the geometrical interpretation of a system of linear equation as a line, and the solution will be the common point or the meeting point of both the lines. And also we have seen a vector interpretation in which we can write as a linear combination of column vectors. Also we have seen it will A will transform a vector X to given B. That is also a method of interpretation. And also we have discussed how to factorize a given matrix into lower triangular and upper triangular matrices. So coming to today's topic, that is vector spaces, we have the definition of a vector space is given by: a real vector space is a set of vectors together with the rules of vector addition and multiplication by real numbers. Or a real vector space is a set of vectors which are closed under addition and multiplication by scalar. So actually there are 8 set of rules are there, like associativity, commutativity, and existence of identity, existence of multiplicative, inverse, and so such 8 properties are there that we are not going to discuss much here. But to define a vector space, what we need is only this is sufficient now so far. It should be closed under addition and closed under multiplication by scalar. Now what is meant by closed under addition? That is nothing but if there is a vector u is there and another vector v is there, which are in the given vector space, then its sum u plus v also should be in v. Similarly, closed under scalar multiplication means what? If u is there in v, then its scalar multiplication cu also should be in v. For any c is a real number. For example, we can consider as a number as a vector. For example, real number as a vector, if you take in that integers, if you consider, you have positive number is your vector space. For example, I am giving an example. Positive numbers are only considered as a vector space. Then if you add them, the result should be in the same. So if you add two positive numbers, you will get a positive number. So positive numbers are closed under this one. Now the problem is that the real number scalar multiplication for any c is any real number. So if c is a -1, then -1 times of a positive number will be -1, which is not in v. So positive number is closed under addition, but it is not closed under scalar multiplication. So we have to select a space such that it is closed under addition as well as it is closed under scalar multiplication. Now we will see the examples as we move on. Now condition 1 and 2 together can be represented as a linear combination. This is called a linear combination because u, if it is there, then au should be there in the matrix space. If v is there, then b times v should be there, where a and b are scalars. Then as per this one, if both au and bv are there, then its sum also should be there. So if u and v are there and its a linear combination is also there in v, then we can call v as a vector space. There is some statement is there: for any vector space, 0 vector should be an element in the vector space. 0 vector means here 0 is in bold, so be careful about that. It is not just 0 vector. If it is a one-dimensional space, 0. If it is a two-dimensional space, 0, 0. If it is three-dimensional space, it is 0, 0, 0. So that is vector. So in x-axis, two-dimensional means along x 0, along y also 0. That is 0, 0. In three dimension, x, y, z are there. So 0, 0, 0. So you can define n dimension also. Now, what is that if it is a vector space, then it should contain 0 vector. If it is not there, if 0 vector is not there, then it is not a vector space. So how to prove that? So consider U, which is an element of V. So we taken U as element of V. V is a vector space. Then for any real number C is equal to minus 1. So not for any real number. For a real number C is equal to minus 1. Then CU, that is the scalar multiplication. It is closed under C. Since V is a vector space, then it should be closed under scalar multiplication. Means CU, that is minus 1 times U, also should be in a V. So plus U is there in V and minus U is also there in V. Now we have the first property which says that it is closed under addition. So if U is there, minus U is also there, then its sum also should be there in the V, right? So U plus minus U is what? 0. So 0 should be there in vector space. So that is what a vector space should always contain the 0 vector. If a vector space which doesn't contain any 0 vector, then it is not a vector space according to this conditions. So now we will define what is a subspace. Now subspace is nothing but a vector space, it's only, but it's a subset of vector space. Entire vector need not be entire vector space. Instead of a subset of a vector space is called a subspace. Now that subset need not to be always following the condition for vector space. We will see that when we do the simulation. But a definition, a subspace of vector space is a non-empty subset that satisfies the requirement for a vector space. That is, linear combination of a subspace should remain in subspace only. That is, if we add vectors x and y in the subspace, x plus y also should be there in the subspace. And if we multiply with the scalar, this one should also in the subspace. So this is the condition we require. So we cannot say all the subsets of a vector space as a subspace. So subset of a vector space which follows these two rules, rule 1 and rule 2, is also called the subspace. Now we will see some examples. The vector space examples are simple. Real number as a line, real number as a 2-dimensional, real number as a 3-dimensional space, and real number in n-dimensional space. This is not easy to visualize, but with these things we can visualize. So I am moving to the simulation. So I am using GeoGebra. Now R space is nothing but the x-axis line which we use, this line which comes in x-axis. So x-axis line, if any point is there, for example 3 is a point in x-axis. So if 3 is a point in x-axis, so this is a point in x-axis. I am not able to show you. Still, if 3 is a point in x-axis and 5 is also a point in x-axis, if you add both of them, 3 plus 5, 8 is also a point in x-axis. Now if you multiply any point by a scalar, that will also be in x-axis. So x-axis is a example of R space. Now that is easy to understand. Now we will go for R2 space. R2 space means both x and y. So in R2 space, for example, I am considering a vector. So I am moving this one aside. So considering a vector A equal to 3, 2. So this is the vector A, and this one is another vector 5, 2. So as we said, U in V, V in V, like that, A in R2 and B is also in R2 because both are in XY plane. Now what is the condition is that A plus B should be in the same R2 only, right? So if I consider x1 is equal to 1, x2 is equal to 1, and V here C is equal to x1 A plus x2 B. Now x1 is 1 and x2 is 1. So x1 A plus x2 B will be A plus B. So A plus B will be in the xy plane itself. It is not moving outside or it is not moving away. So this entire R2 space starting from minus infinity to infinity along x-axis and minus infinity to plus infinity along y-axis makes a vector space, because it is closed under addition. And if you change the value of x1 or x2, then the linear combination also changes of a and b. So this is a linear combination. This linear combination changes, but still the result is in R2 itself. So we can say that this is a so I am showing just a simulation of different values of x1 and x2. When x1 and x2 changes, the scaling factor also moves to negative axis also, so it also moves to the negative direction also. You can see this one. So actually it moves in all the spaces, in positive, negative, x positive, x negative. So we have here I have limitation. I take an x1 value between minus 5 and 5. If you take larger values, it will change accordingly. So this is R2 space. Now I'm leaving that part. Now I'm stopping the animation. Now I will take d is equal to x1e. That is actually the second property, that is multiplied by a scalar. X1 can take any value. So if you can see, when x1 changes, d changes. The entire elements are changing. So this is also linear combination, an example of linear combination. So moving to so can you tell me a subspace in R2 space? R2 space is entire space now. Now in this one, can you tell me a subspace which is a vector space? Subspace means a subset which is a vector space. Can we say that the positive x and positive y axis, that's the first quadrant, as a subspace? No. Why? Because if you can see here, if I have taken d as x1 times a, now when x1 changes, what happened? D moves to the third coefficient, right? See here, when d is negative, it comes in the third quadrant. So first quadrant is there, but its a scalar multiplication is in third quadrant, so it is not closed under addition, closed under scalar multiplication. So we cannot say that the first quadrant alone is a subset, but it is not a subspace. Now consider another case. I will define a line here. So in blue color you can see that a line is there. Now this is a vector a is there along the line. So I am considering another vector d, which is x1 times a. Now I am changing the value of x1. So what happens here, if you can see, the d is always standing in the line itself, it is not moving out of the line. So line, the scalar multiplication is preserved in that line, right? So it is not moving out of the line, either it is in positive or negative, the d remains in the line itself. Now I will define another vector in the line, which comes in the another vector. F is equal to 4 6 is another vector which is present in the line itself. I am considering only line now. So I have two vectors in the line, one is a, another one is f. Now I am defining g as a linear combination of x1 a and x2 f, because a and f are the vectors along the line, and its linear combination is x1 a and x2 f. Now if I change the value of x1 and x2, the vector g, just observe the vector g in the line. So what happens to the line vector g in the line? So I am just changing the values of x1 and x2 here to different values. So I am just putting the animation. Now just observe the vector g. See, the linear combination vector g remains in the same line. It is not moving away from the line, means this line is now a vector subspace. Why it is called subspace? Because it is a part of R2 but not all the points of R2, but it follows the both, that is addition remains in the line itself and multiplication remains in the line itself. That is why it is called a subspace. So all the points in the line in R2 is a subset of R2 and it follows both addition, closed under addition, as well as multiplication under addition. So that is what we have here. Now coming to R3 space. So R3 space is another example where we will show another vector here. So R3 space, anyhow any point in A, R3, that is 3-dimensional vector, another 3-dimensional vector. If you add, you will get another 3-dimensional vector, right? So all remains in R3 space. So R3 space, that is the 3-dimensional space, is a vector space. We can say that R3 space is a vector space. Now can you suggest some subspaces for vector space? The subspace for vector space, either a line passing through the origin, that is must condition, line passing through the origin, as we discussed in the previous case, will be a subspace. Is there any other subspace? One more subspace is there, that is a plane passing through the origin. Now if you can see here in this color, light blue color, you have a plane which passes through origin. Now this will be a subspace. So we have to prove that it is closed under addition and it is closed under multiplication. And the must condition is that we have discussed this one. A subspace contains a vector, any vector space contains 0 vector. That is why this subspace, now this plane is a subspace of 3 dimension and it passes through origin, means it contains the 0 vector, right? Origin is the 0 vector. Now I am taking a point A in the space and vector A. Now can you see the vector A is in the plane itself. It is not outside the plane, it is on the plane itself. And I am taking another point B in this one, general point, random point I have taken, and that is also in vector, that is vector V, that is also in the plane itself. Now what I have to prove? It is closed under addition and closed under scalar multiplication, or in other words we can say that the linear combination of A and B will be in the plane itself, that is x1A plus x2B. If I plot, that always will remain in this plane only. So we will see that one here. I have marked a new vector W, which is x1U plus x2V. So if you can see this one, it is aligning with the plane, right? Okay, it is showing outside because it is the value is more than that about the visibility, but it is always in the plane. Now if I change the value of x1 and x2, I am just see here what happens to the linear combination of A and B. It is always in the same plane. So for the R3 space, it is not moving out of the plane. You can see from this side. See, this is the one side view of the plane. The vector always remains in the plane. It is not moving out or in of the plane. So is this clear? For a R3 space, a plane is a subspace and line is also a subspace. So coming back, so similarly for Rn space there will be n minus 1 subspaces. Just like we have R3, we have plane as a subspace, line as a subspace. Now what is the minimum subspace vector space can have? Is nothing but a 0 vector, 0 0 0 or 0, because the multiplication of 0 is the same point itself, and if you add 2 zeros it will be same point itself. So a single point 0 is also a subspace. Now we will define a new set that is called a column space. Now column space contains all linear combination of the columns of A. So if you have a matrix like A, which is the representation of Ax equal to B, that is a system of linear equation. Now here what is A? This 1 0 5 4 2, 4. This is A, this is X, this is B. Now how many variables are there? U and V are the variables. So two unknowns are there, but totally three equations are there. That is U equal to B1, 5U plus 4V equal to B2, 2VU plus 4V equal to B3. So three equations. So always remember this notation. M is used to represent the number of equation and N is used to use the number of variables. So number of elements in B will be M and number of elements in this one X will be N. So as we discussed in the previous class, we can write this one as the linear combination of these two column vectors. So this will be U152 plus V044 equal to B1, B2, B3. Now what is this one? This is a vector in three-dimensional space, right? 1, 5, 2 means in x-axis 1, y-axis 5, z-axis 2, and this is also a three-dimensional vector. And if you multiply u and v, you should get b1, b2, b3. Then u and v are the solutions such that this combination gives this value. So all these possible values like U152 and V044, if you put U equal to 0, V equal to 0, you will get some value. U equal to 1, V equal to 1, you will get some value. U equal to 1, V equal to 0, you will get another value. So you have infinite values for B1, B2, B3, but not all the three-dimensional possibilities, right? Only these combinations will be there. So in R3 space, this takes a subset. All the possible values of B1, B2, B3 would not take all the values of R3 space, but take some set of values. So those values is a subset and it is a linear combination. That is why it will be a subspace, because they are the linear combination of these two vectors, right? So such subspaces are called column space. Now how we can prove that it is a subspace? Because it should be closed under addition and it should be closed under linear multiplication. So the column space is always represented as C of A. Now we will see, suppose B and B dash lie in the column space, because Ax equal to B is the equation, right? So B and B dash are the two solutions, possible solutions, and they are in the column space. Now what we have to prove? B plus B dash also remains in the column space. That means B plus B dash also should be a linear combination of Ax, or it should be a result of Ax or you should be able to write A into something equal to B plus B dash. Then it is a column space, right? So we know that Ax is equal to B because B is in column space, and we know that B dash Ax dash is equal to B dash because B dash is also in the column space. Now if you add these two on the LHS, you have Ax plus Ax dash, that will be Ax, A can be taken outside, A into x plus x dash, and RHS if you add B plus B dash, that will be B plus B dash. Now if you can see that A into something is equal to B plus B dash, so what does it means? This is also part of the column matrix of A, column space of A. That is why B plus B dash also can be written as, so it is closed under addition. Two vectors are there, their sum is also can be represented as a linear combination of A, means it is closed under addition. And second one is take a multiple CB, take a C such that you already know that B is a element of column, so that Ax is equal to B, and you multiply B by C. Now if you multiply B by C, then Ax also gets multiplied by, so Ax is equal to B becomes A into Cx is equal to CB. Now what does it mean? CB is a element such that it is a linear transformation of A, means it is a element of column space of A. So a scalar multiplication of B is also in the column space, and the sum is also in column space, means their sum that is actually a vector subspace. So map the linear combinations of columns of any matrix is a subspace. Remember this one. So how the number of elements or the number of dimension of the vector will be m, because there will be m equations, that is why. Now
we can define one more space called null space of A. Now null space is nothing but it is a dual of the previous one. In the previous Ax is equal to B. If you can see here, this is example. Ax is equal to B. The values B takes is becomes a vector space. Now think the other way. The values U and V takes such that it becomes B1, B2, B3 will be a subset of two-dimensional subspace. This is the subset of three-dimensional. Now the values which U and V takes will be a subset of two-dimensional. And as we said, this should be 0, 0, right? So that 0 should be element of U and V. Now if you put a 0 here, then you multiply this one, all the elements will be 0, 0, 0. Now the condition, instead of Ax is equal to B, for null space what we want is Ax is equal to 0. Now all the possible values of x which gives Ax is equal to 0. Here remember the difference. For the column space, all the possible values of B which gives Ax is equal to B is a column space, and all the possible values of x which gives Ax is equal to 0, all the possible values of x which gives Ax is equal to 0. So number of elements in X is n, so it will be a subspace of Rn, two dimensional in the previous example as we took, will be a vector space and subspace. So we have to represent it as n of A, and we have to prove that it is a subspace. We can prove in two methods. One is that if Ax is equal to 0 and another vector Ax dash is equal to 0. So there are two vectors, x in this subspace and x dash is also in the subspace, because it follows that equation. Now add these two equations. What happens? Ax plus Ax dash is A into x plus x dash. Right side 0 plus 0. So A into x plus x dash is equal to 0. That means that Ay is equal to 0, or y is the element of null space. What is y? X plus x dash. So y is element of null space means x plus x dash is element of null space. So it is closed under addition. Now scalar multiplication, Ax is equal to 0, then A into Cx will be C into Ax. Since LHS is 0, RHS is also 0, that will be 0 only. So multiplying also brings in the same subspace. So this both satisfies if and only if the B part should be 0. So such equations, Ax is equal to 0, is called homogeneous equations. So null space is defined for homogeneous equations, but column space is defined for any equation. And a very important thing is, null space is for the B part of Ax equal to B, and column space is for the x part of the Ax is equal to B equation, or Ax is equal to 0 equation. Okay, we will see an example. You will clearly understand what we have to do. So describe the column space and null space of the matrices. There are two questions. First one is A 1 0 minus 1 0 and A equal to 0 1 0 2 3 3. Now if you for the solution, to find the column space of A, what we have to do is you have to consider Ax is equal to B. Now what is A? 1 0 minus 1 0, x into y equal to B1 B2. Now I can put x as a linear combination of 1 0 and minus 1 0. That will be x 1 0 plus y minus 1 0 plus b equal to B1 B2. Now if you take here minus 1 outside, it will be x 1 0 minus y 1 0 equal to B1 B2. Since these two are same, I can write x minus y 1 0 is equal to B1 B2. Now I can write this x minus y is a new scalar, right? Instead of writing two sets, I can write z into 1 0 is equal to B1 B2. So what values it can take? Z1 and 0. Z into 0 is 0. So B1 can take any value as Z takes, but B2 is always 0. So Z comma 0 or B1 comma 0 is the subspace spanned by vector 1 0. So it is a column space of 1 0. So that is what. So B1 can take for the elements in this one in this subspace or the column space will be all the possible points for B1 starting from minus infinity to plus infinity, but this part is only 0. So there all combinations will be there in the vector itself, and linear combination there will be in the same vector. So this is called column space. Now how to find the null space? Null space we have to equate it to 0. Ax is equal to 0. So as we did in the previous case also, 1 0 1 minus 1 0, x into 1 0 plus y into minus 1 0 equal to 0 0, or minus 1 I am taking outside, so x 1 0 minus y, so x minus y 1 0 is equal to 0, x minus y is equal to 0, or x is equal to y. So what we want here, we don't want the b part, here we want the x part. In the previous problem we wanted the b part, and b part was z times of 1 0 or linear combinations of 1 0. Here we want the x part. So x part, to get the x part, x is equal to y, so xy is equal to x and y is given as x, so I can write, instead of y I can write xx. If I take x outside, 1 1. So null space is actually linear combination of 1 1. That is the answer. Null space is the linear combination of 1 1, means it may be 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 0.5 0.5 0.6 0.6 minus infinity minus 100 minus 100, any value. So what x takes, that much times 1 1. So that points all which follows this equation becomes a null space of A. So we'll move to the second question. What was the second question? Second question, if you see here, we have the matrix A is equal to 0 0 3 1 2 3. We want to find the column space as well as the null space. So moving into that, we have to find the B part of the question. So B, Ax is equal to B. So 0 0 3 into 1 2 3 into x y z. So what is M here? M is the number of equation 2. N is number of variable. So since M is here, our vector will be, number of elements in B will be the dimension of column space. So we will see that one, how much it comes. So x into the first column plus y into the second column plus z into the third column is equal to B1 into B3. Now if you see the second one, I can take 2 outside, so 0 1 plus 2y plus z 3 3 equal to B1. Now if I take x plus 2y together and 0 1 together, plus z 3 3 is equal to B1, or instead of x plus 2y I can write a new variable w. So w into 0 1 plus z into 3 3 is equal to B1, or B1 is equal to z 3z and B2 is equal to w plus 3z. So all the values substituting w and z, whatever values you get, or otherwise we can say that the column space is a linear combination of vectors 0 1 and 3 3. So one of the vector is here dependent on the other one, that we will see in the next coming classes what you mean by independent and dependent. Now how to find the null space? As I said, we have to equate Ax is equal to 0 and find the value of x equal to 0, find the value corresponding to x. So what you have to do, take x first, x into the first column, y into the second column, z into the third column, and if you multiply again, 2 is common here, I can take 2 outside, so that will be x plus 2y into 0 1 plus z 3 3 is equal to 0. Now here the right side will become 0 if and only if either z is equal to 0, both should be 0, z is equal to 0 as well as x plus 2y, because this is not 0, this is not 0, means only the coefficient will be 0. So from this one I can write two conditions, that is z is equal to 0 anyhow and x plus 2y is equal to 0. So this means that y is equal to, if you take this side, minus half into x. Now the set x y z has 3 values, x and y is minus half x and z is 0. So if you take x outside, 1 minus half 0. So the null space is a linear combination of vector 1 minus half 0. So this is what null space. So this is all about our column space, vector space, subspace and null space. So more detail we can see in the next class. Thank you.